It wasn't too long ago that if you wanted to learn something, it was going to cost you. You wanted to learn how to cook or to fix a toilet or a new language or some sort of computer skill. You had access to that, but it was usually behind some sort of paywall, either a software that would do that or an online or in-person class. The good news is we don't live in those times anymore. The good news is that if you have the ability to watch this video, then you have everything you need to learn any of those things I just described. Hi, I'm Paul Trent, aka That Networking Guy, and welcome to the fourth and final installment in my series on my job loss journey. In the first part of the series, we talked about the 3 things that I did to get off the couch, out of the house, and to start building real momentum for myself and my career. In the second part of the series, we talked specifically about networking. In the third part of the series, we talked about volunteering. And in this final installment, we will be talking about using AI to learn skills that you otherwise would not be able to learn in a way that's tailored to you and easy to understand. About a month ago, I did a presentation on AI and networking in person in front of about 20 folks, and I had a slide deck that was created in PowerPoint by me, a software that I did not know how to use a month prior to the presentation. But I used AI to hold my hand through creating a really professional looking slide deck that had those cute little animations, where you click a button and then the words come flying in from the side. And it had themes and it meshed really well and it flowed really well. And I did all of that with a software I didn't know how to use prior to picking it up. An even better example of using AI to teach yourself new skills is this video that you're watching right now. It was shot using OBS. It was edited using Clipchamp. The thumbnail that brought you to this video, that was done in Canva. And of course, uploading it was done in YouTube Studio. I didn't know how to use any of that stuff a month ago, but AI walked me through basic steps to get me up and running. And then from there, I just use some techniques, which I will show you in a second, for troubleshooting when I couldn't figure out how to do specific things. But all of this entire video was brought to you by a collaboration with me and AI. So next, I would like to show you, using Canva, an example of how I use AI to teach myself these types of skills. So in this example, we are going to ask, in this case, ChatGPT, to walk us through creating a very basic thumbnail for this video. So you'll see at the top of the screen here, I want to build a YouTube thumbnail using Canva, but I don't really know that tool that well. Can you walk me through the steps to creating a simple thumbnail that has text at the top, a picture at the bottom, and a gray background? It's very important when you are prompting to use context and boundaries on the output. So in this case, I gave it the proper context that in this example, we're going to say I don't know Canva very well. And I gave it simple parameters for what I was looking for instruction on. So we'll go through, and it says start your canvas, open Canva, hit create design, and then choose YouTube thumbnail. It auto loads the right size. So it says create. I do know that the create button is over here, but it did not do a very good job of explaining where the create button was. So in this case, I might actually push back, and may have pushed back when I first started doing this, and said I don't see the create button. And then of course it could give me further instructions on where to find it. So we'll go create, and then it says choose YouTube thumbnail. But again, this is a case where, okay, let's see, where it might not be super clear. Now you notice how under create new, YouTube thumbnail was not one of the first things I saw. So again, I could say I don't see YouTube thumbnail, and then I could have it walk me through. It could say, hey, check out create new. Sometimes what you're looking for is buried over to the right. Scroll over, see if you see it. These are the kinds of things, the troubleshooting things that you can do when you're using a tool like this. So my YouTube thumbnail, and then it says on the left sidebar, click background, or just click the blank page. Up the top, you'll see a color tile. Pick a neutral gray. That locks in the backdrop. Ooh. And then here's the background color wheel. And then I will pick a gray. We'll go with this. This is a good gray. So anyway, we won't go through all of this, but this is an idea of how you can use it. Now, what you can do, as I was saying earlier, is if you get into a situation where either an instruction is not clear or you get further down the road and you feel like you're starting to learn it, but you're not sure how to do something, this is what you can do. So here's an example of the thumbnail that I created for the third video in this series. And let's say I want to change the background color, but every time I click on something, I'm getting not this background. If I keep clicking in areas, I keep getting it to highlight elements on the page, but I just want to get to the background. In this example, what I can do is take a screenshot. Now I use 𝗙cie𝗿, which is a pretty cheap piece of software that lets you very easily and efficiently do screen grabs. Most computers, PCs usually have 𝗙cie𝗿, and I'm pretty sure there's a comparable one on Mac. But just so you guys know, I will be using 𝗙cie𝗿, and I use hotkeys. So I will bring up the 𝗙cie𝗿, and it should highlight this. And so I will take a screen grab of this, and I'm taking a copy of the screen grab off screen, just FYI. So we go back to GPT, and so I'm going to ask it to help me figure out why I can't get to the background of this element to change the color. So I say, I have this thumbnail and I want to change the color, but every time I click on it, it brings up another element, not the backdrop. How do I get to the backdrop? And then I will off screen copy and paste into GPT, and you see here's the image. And so and this is one of the coolest things that it can do. It can literally look at the image and it can say, Canva likes to play hide and seek with backgrounds. So here's the trick. You probably got a rectangle shape behind everything or something, whatever. Click on the empty space on the edge, open the layers panel in the bottom right, hit the little icon and so forth. I actually know how to do this because this is a real world example of a question that I asked it because I could not get to it. And so what it's saying is click anywhere in the space, go to position, and then you click here, and then this highlights it, and you see now I can change the color to whatever I want. So this is the biggest thing I think as far as using AI as a tool to teach you, is you get it to walk you through the steps of the basic steps of how to get into the software, how to rudimentarily use it. And then you start to play around with it. And when you get stuck, use a snippet tool or a 𝗙cie𝗿 tool or whatever you're using, some sort of screen capture to show it where you're stuck. And then cut and paste that image into the GPT or Claude or Gemini or whatever you're using and say, hey, I'm stuck using this tool. Can you help me troubleshoot this? Between those two things, in no time, you're going to be a power user with these tools. It's a really fun and exciting way to learn something new. So far we've just talked about what I've learned on my journey. But the cool thing is you can use these same techniques I just showed you to learn pretty much anything you need to learn for your journey. So if you need to bone up on job skills like Excel, writing, LinkedIn, prompt engineering, or if you want to use this time to learn some creative skills like video, social media, design, life skills like cooking, home repair, or if you want to learn another language. Or, and here's the best part, kind of anything you want to learn. Like, I know there's a lot of doom scrolling out there now about what AI could eventually do. Possibly, yes, but there's all kinds of things that could eventually happen. I prefer to look at this tool as an amazing gateway to making our brains do things that previous generations could not even think about getting their brains to do. I'm talking about not just learning skills to be functional in the workplace or any other setting, but I'm talking about critical thinking, having an entity that has access to all of collected human knowledge, to have a conversation with that entity and to learn pretty much anything you'd like to learn. I like to think that we live in pretty exciting times, and so I've been using a big chunk of my free time on my job loss journey to learn new skills, to be a better critical thinker, to be more useful in more settings. So I hope that you were inspired by something you watched in this video to do likewise. So as always, if you liked this video, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a like. If you have not subscribed already, please give my channel a subscribe. I am trying to build this from scratch, which is, as most of you know, a Herculean task at best. So thank you so much for your time, and we will talk again soon.